me just... Okay, go ahead.
So what would we do without the media? It is much more efficient now to spread any information to a large group of people, like the United States, all around the world, over social and mass media. Whereas before we had social and mass media, when we had a much smaller population, we had to rely on people on horses to get people information. That's not as reliable. It's not as quick. It's not as efficient. Just like that click of a button, boom, I know something that happened in China already. So it's much more efficient now than it would be without social and mass media. So I would like to reaffirm the resolution resolved. Social and mass media improve the quality of democratic decision making. Thank you.
Okay, and our next speaker will be TJ.
Bill Nye, the science guy, once said, "The information you get from social media is not a substitute for academic discipline." So I would like to once again negate the resolution that social and mass media improve the quality of democratic decision making. I'd like to hit on the 3 points my opponent just brought up. The first being that it educates the citizens. Now the definition of media that he brought up does not fit under the 10 hours of media that the average citizen actually watches. It's not in social media or mass media, it's mostly predominantly media that does not follow any information that's going to help the voter in democratic decision making. But more importantly, in looking at educating the citizens, realistically, how much do people actually know about the candidates that they're voting for? They know about Clinton's email scandal, they know about Trump sexually harassing people, but if you look at it, how many citizens can tell you about the candidate's education, where they went to college? How about their top priorities about what they want to do with the governmental budget? Citizens do not know this information because they don't get this information off of social and mass media. They get information that does not help them in improving the quality of democratic decision making. Now again, 1.69 billion people use social media. That goes right into his second point, that a large number of people utilize mass and social media. And that's all the more reason to understand the negative points about mass and social media. People are able to come together as a platform, true. But people communicate and create large groups with the same interests using social and mass media. And then those large groups are able to promote their beliefs and promote their agenda to the public. They're able to promote exactly what they want the public to understand. And as I explained in my constructive, is that public opinion levels off at an ordered state. That large groups who control mass media are able to effectively control the public thought and the public opinion. Specifically, if we look at a stat from the US Today, research showed that hate groups collected more likes and tweets and comments in 2016 than any other year, especially since 2008. From 2014 to 2015, the number of likes on hate groups and tweets tripled, and tripled again between 2015 and 2016. So as we can see, even though a large number of people are on mass and social media, they're able to create large groups and basically take away all the points of democratic decision making. And the final point that was brought up by my opponent is the fact that it positively influenced the constituents and people voting in democratic decision making. Now I'd like to bring up Peggy Holman, who is a journalist. She defines the focus of democratic decision making as the positions presented. But if we look at what happens in social mass media, the positions are skewed and the citizens are not actually educated on the information in which they're going to vote for in a democratic decision making. They're informed on the wrong things, like I mentioned, Hillary's email scandal or Trump's comments that are not presidential. So they are not educated on the things that are going to help them in democratic decision making. And as we mentioned before, if all the information that voters and citizens of democracies are going to get are from mass and social media, then they're not going to be informed or properly informed when making democratic decisions as a whole. So in looking at those 3 points, and once again affirming the 3 points that I just presented, I'd like to negate the resolution saying that social mass media improve the quality of democratic decision making. Thank you very much.
Okay. And Julie.
would like to continue to affirm the resolution that social and mass media improve the quality of democratic decision-making. First of all, I would like to mention that with Twitter as being one of those forms of social and mass media, they keep saying how the information is skewed and you don't know exactly what the candidates' positions are on the issues. But Donald Trump's tweets are coming directly from Donald Trump. There's nobody skewing that information because it's coming straight from his phone or computer or whatever, and that's exactly what he's saying. There's nobody messing with that information. Also, I would like to jump back to Shane and that the bias that he was saying that is brought up in all these different mass media sources. I would like to say that even though these things can be a little bit biased, by using social and mass media, people can see these different views. So even if it's always a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, we are only human and we are all going to put our little bit of our own opinion into this news that we would be explaining to the public. But it's a good thing that we have this bias and not just have everything be completely one-sided in the media as it might be in your own personal community. Second, he mentioned that it's easy to ignore the facts on social media, and you can block information that you don't exactly agree with. But I think that we all know that even if you try to block people that you don't agree with their political views, that information isn't going to go away. Those facts are still going to come back to you, and you're going to know what their correct information is. In fact, a study done shows that 15% of people, there were only 15% of people in 2016 that felt that they could not determine fake news from real news. And I think that that speaks for itself. Also, businesses, not all businesses are just trying to get profit. They have to have some sort of fact that their thing are based off of, and especially on Twitter, that is just people speaking their opinion. There's nothing there for them as far as profit. It's all just them saying what they believe in and trying to engage in discussion and just talk to people that they might not be able to talk to if it wasn't for social and mass media. TJ also mentioned when questioning me that it is only a platform to bicker. He believes it's only a platform to bicker on in social mass media. But there's bad with every good, and we are not arguing that social media and social mass media is perfect, but only that the bad outweighs the good in such that we are able to improve our democratic decision making. So I would like to restate the resolution that social and mass media improve the quality of democratic decision making because it allows us to connect, discuss, and learn in ways that are only possible with the media as a platform. Specifically, it educates the public, helps the development of political values, and gives a voice to many different groups of people. So I continue to affirm this resolution, and thank you for your time.
And Shane?